You know, Walker, if we wait long enough, maybe they blow away. Somebody that won't see the crack is probably going to buy that. Some of these people put a lot of effort into their booths. I have a lot of respect for that. Look at how cool this is. Here we are. I've got a little bit of the day off, so I'm going to run into town and poke my head around some of the usual haunts up here in the country, and we'll see what there is to see if there's anything new or interesting, and take a ride with me, and let's find out. All right, here I am going into a familiar place. Let's go see what there is here. There was a sign coming in that said all materials and assets in this place are to be treated as third-party confidential. I wonder why that is. I wonder what they're trying to do. Okay. Unmarked Wagner, number 5. Take a guess. Ooh, $10. That's actually not bad. But do I need another one? These number 5s, they're piling up for me. All right, $25. I can tell it's a Lodge already. Iron muffin pans, $20. See, that looks like a Griswold. Made in USA. Oh, there's a spider on it. What do we got here? $30, another Lodge. Yeah. Without the helper handle, an earlier one. That's probably a number 10. $20 for each of these. I'd get one, but I wouldn't pay $20. Corn pan, $20. That's going to be a Lodge. Okay, a stew pot. Looks almost like a Lodge, right? This is 2SP. Could that be a Lodge? Kind of looks like it. That might be worth $11. Is there some pitting in there? Let me take a close look at that. Could just be seasoning. That's not a bad deal. $32. Nope. Nope. Asian. This one probably is worth $11. I will probably get that. Those are kind of cool, huh? $38 for. Look really old. Pretty neat looking. What do you think these books are? Goldsmith's Deserted Village. Lays of Ancient Rome. Interesting. Oh, coral. I hear corals going for a lot now. Some of these people put a lot of effort into their booths. I have a lot of respect for that. Look at how cool this is. It's just nicely done. I mean, it's like a disparate collection of shells, but the way they've put it together, it all just seems to work. Pretty neat. Look at that old light up there. A heat light up in it. Pretty neat. If I ran one of these places, I would probably have a contest to see who had the nicest looking booth every month. I think that would be kind of cool. So you can already tell it's an Asian, the little small hole at the end. Grill Master. Modern. Did Eames make stuff like this? It almost looks like an Eames chair, doesn't it? $25. I guess it's a copy. Yeah, Modern. Ooh, almost missed this. I can tell this is probably Modern though. It's aluminum too. That was a neat old guitar stand. What do they want for it? 74 bucks. I don't know what those things go for normally. That's probably about what you can get them for new, I imagine. Look at all the Tupperware. I just brought a bunch of Tupperware up that I got from in town. That old stuff just seems to last forever. I remember this thing. The Sears and Roebuck Company. Why did I not get it before it was cracked or something? Too much money for it? They sanded it. All the above. Yeah, there's a crack right there. I remember that. $25. Somebody that won't see the crack is probably going to buy that. Nothing special here. Look at that, as an relatively early 3-notch Lodge. Nothing special. So here's something interesting. It's a deep square skillet with a handle that looks like Lodge, but it's not marked. So $37.50. Not too bad. Here we go. Here we go. Flea market mayonnaise and vinaigrette. Chicken breasts. I just got some of this at Walmart for the same price. Why would I buy it here when it's probably a year expired? Cast iron stove, $225. One of the things I've learned is all these are almost always missing. There's a plate in here that the coals sit on top of. It's almost always gone. I assume that's the case here too. I'm gonna have to fabricate one for mine. Okay, there's something I haven't seen, an aluminum Dutch oven. Let's see if there's any maker marks on this thing. Nothing I can see. Interesting. And it's not warped. You'd think something made of aluminum would be a little distorted because that looks like it's been used. It's $12. Later 3-notch Lodge. Ooh, lots of pitting on that. Taiwan. Another one really heavily pitted. Taiwan. So, pick this thing up 2SP. I think it could be an early Lodge, is what I'm thinking. Because I think Lodge did put the heat rings on these things, which is different from BSR, which didn't. So, I'll do a little more research. If you have an idea, let me know. Alright, let's talk saucepans, stew pans. I think the common thing is a saucepan. Here is my collection of saucepans. And let's go over it. This is the one that I got, I believe, or it's very similar, the 2SP. There's some interesting distinctive features of these, so let's just talk about them. You'll see a lot of these have a little bit of a longer kind of handle that's got a little elongated teardrop thing. Looks like Lodge, but these are BSRs as well. Both BSR and Lodge made these. I'm sure some other people did, but I think mostly what I have are BSR and Lodge. As I understand it, BSR made them in 1, 2, and 3 quarts. There are some other bigger sizes, though. I know Lodge made a bigger one, this one right here, which was featured in one of my early episodes where I picked it up at the citywide yard sale. This is the... Why don't we start with the big monster? Because I know what this is, because I posted it online and a whole bunch of people were like, sell that to me, sell that to me. This is a 6-6 quart stew pan or saucepan. It has the matching lid which says 6-6 quart. I guess it's the equivalent of a number 9, but this is the matching saucepan, and you can see this thing is in beautiful shape. It cleaned up really nicely. Now let's talk about what the quality characteristics are. Full heat ring on both the Lodge and the BSR versions. But I do have some that don't have a heat ring, and I'm not sure whether they're just variations or what. We know this is a Lodge because it has the 6-6 quart, and the 2 quart one will also have a similar marking. See, here's the 2 quart one that says 2 quart. That's a sign that it's Lodge. I hear there was very early ones made that actually had the number sticking out. But you see, this almost kind of looks like a BSR with the Red Mountain with the big A here. It could be that this was during a transition period when Lodge acquired some of BSR's molds and they were using them. I don't know, but I assume this is Lodge. If you think this is actually a BSR, let me know, because the bottom does kind of look Red Mountain-ish, but I assume this is a Lodge because of the 2QT, which is what that I am told the Lodges were designated with. So let's take a look at the other ones that I have. First off, here's a nice size one. This does not have a heat ring, and it just has a K on it. I do not know for sure whether this is a Lodge or a BSR. I think it might be a Lodge. I know that some of these saucepans had heat rings and some of them didn't. I thought at one point that was one of the differences between BSR. BSR didn't have them, and Lodge did. But let's take a look at this. This is clearly a BSR. It has that distinctive kind of lid with the little tab and the hole in it. 1 for 1 quart, and pretty straightforward. This is obviously a Century series with the font 1QT, and you see this weird kind of handle type. There's some BSRs that have this. It's also on their ashtrays too. This little concave underside of the handle. So this is a BSR 1 quart. Apparently pretty hard to find small size. I don't know what this is. Assume it's a 3 quart. So we'll stick it right in there like that. I got this guy right here. This is the BSR 2 quart saucepan, Century series. And you see it has a slightly different handle. It could be different eras, but I'm pretty sure that is a BSR. Tell me if you've got some other information. And then, last but not least, this is the last one I have, which I guess is another 3 or 4 quart. 3 quart. Now this, I guess, also kind of leads me to believe it's BSR, because BSR like to do these kind of mold marks with the screwdrivers and stuff. Screws. So this is obviously 3QT. Another indication with the heat ring of a Century series saucepan. Now that's what I have. If you have more information, let me know. It's been really hard to find any good reference on saucepan configurations and identifying features. So if you have some, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a comment. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying the video series and supporting me thus far by subscribing and clicking like and all of that. And if you want to catch me on TikTok, sometimes I have previews of what I'm working on that I haven't published lately. That's at TikTok/@WisdomStudio. And if you're on Facebook, look up the group Vintage Cast Iron Hunting, Restoration, Identification, and Sales. And until next time.